Hey guys, TJ Fitness News Reviews, and together with me is the Metabolic Nutrition ESP Extreme. Yeah, a lot of you, and I mean a lot of you, asked me to review this Metabolic Nutrition ESP Extreme because it is supposed to be one of the strongest, kick-ass, super steam junkie friendly. So a couple of things right up front. So Metabolic Nutrition is a hardcore brand. If you didn't use any of their product, they're fat burners and their pre-workouts usually super hardcore, at least positioned as a hardcore. ESP Extreme is no different. They actually have a product, the pre-workout, the traditional pre-workout is called ESP. This one is ESP Extreme. The biggest difference is the addition of DMHA to the formula of ESP, which is supposed to be a steam junkie friendly pre-workout anyway. Really, I can't take you through the label here. It's totally proprietary. You do know that there's beta-alanine in there, that there's choline, that there's tyrosine, that there's caffeine, that there's DMHA, and one more ingredient which I don't remember right now. You can see the label here. It really doesn't matter. It's about 4.6 grams of this stuff together. Definitely a steam-based pre-workout. As you can see from the list here, you won't find like pump ingredients, power, muscle protein synthesis. There's nothing. It's a steam-based pre-workout. Okay, that's where it goes to the label. Now, before I actually go to my experience, I want to set expectations right. Now, so Metabolic Nutrition, and I'm going to read from my phone what they say about this pre-workout, is unique multi-dose scoop allows you to tailor its strength to meet your specific tolerance. You're supposed to be scared here, so maybe there's some suspense music now in the background. Listen to this. Consume prior to exercise, blah, blah, blah. Start with 1 small scoop to assess your tolerance. Increase to 2 small scoops if desired. Once assessed, with caution for extreme energy release for advanced athletes or for persons tolerant of high stimulants, take 1 large scoop. So there's like a multi-stage here that you're supposed to go through because the ESP Extreme is supposed to blow your head away. And yeah, I mean, as far as the label though, I can tell you what we do know, and this is probably the premise here behind all this scare tactics here. There's 500 milligrams of caffeine, allegedly. That's what the official release, I think also from the company, says. 500 milligrams of caffeine, which is a lot of caffeine. Actually, most people would say way too much caffeine. Too much. But I'll give you my experience in a second. And on top of that, DMHA. So you have shitloads of caffeine and DMHA, and your head is supposed to explode if you're the type of athlete that can take 1 large scoop of this thing. Anyway, okay, let's talk about the experience. Let's start with the flavor because that's going to be the easy part. And again, I'm going to take you through my experience and my final verdict on the ESP Extreme. So, flavor. I tried all 4 flavors. All of them are not good. Now, they're not, like one of them is like the fruit punch, I definitely didn't like. The other 3, the blue raz and the apple and the watermelon, they're not good, but they're not terrible. It's not the worst I've ever had, but it's very strong aftertaste. So let's talk about my actual experience. So I came with a lot of expectations just because a lot of you guys that are following the channel asked us to go through this, and there's a lot of noise and all this preparation, all these scare tactics. I was ready to get knocked in the head really hard. So here's my experience. First, I survived. I survived and I definitely went with 1 big scoop. And it's okay. Actually, the experience is not as intense as you would expect from all this scare tactics. It's an intense experience, you definitely feel it, but it's not a crazy intense type feeling. It's not. It's okay. So, actual experience though. I was surprised. It took relatively a lot of time for this thing to kick in. I would say probably like 20-25 minutes to start feeling like the itchiness and the warmth and the energy kick, and probably like 40-45 minutes to peak. Like if I would take this and I would want to go into the gym and do my first lift when this thing is already like at its peak, for me, throughout the week that I used it, it took at least 40-45 minutes. So that's one, which was, well, I was surprised. I was expecting this 500 milligrams to just like boom in the head and that's it. You know, there's caffeine energy that you get from a lot of caffeine that we get from the regular steam-based pre-workouts. And there's that extra feeling, the nootropic feeling that you expect to get from all this DMHA and the other stuff. I didn't get that. Literally, there was no mood elevation. I didn't feel raged. I felt energized. I mean, you feel energy. There's the burn with the beta-alanine and everything. But I wasn't elevated. There was no euphoria. There was no tunnel vision focus. Energy conducive to workout. You definitely want to work out because you have all this caffeine in you. Now, as far as the after effect of 500 milligrams of caffeine, I didn't crash from this thing, so the energy does prolong. So they did something there with the caffeine and the rest of the ingredients that actually goes for a few hours without crashing. But on the other hand, even though I still had the energy in me, the lack of that extra kick, after an hour or an hour and a half working out, I just didn't want to work out anymore. Like, I was done. I didn't feel like going and going and going. You know, there's some pre-workouts that because of the euphoria and all that great feeling of well-being, you just feel like doing stuff. This didn't get me to feel like that. Part of it is that extra mood elevation is just not there. Now, I do want to talk about after effect that I did feel. 2 hours after I took it, I felt my mood going down dramatically. So it's not a crash like I want to go to sleep that you get from a lot of caffeine, you know, the caffeine crash. This was a mood crash. I was like literally depressed. Like, my wife was coming and asking if everything is okay. Like, it just took me down. Sense of heaviness. I actually got like a sense of heaviness. It didn't happen every day I took it. I felt like really down. I had to take another pre-workout later on to feel up again. So to summarize the ESP Extreme experience, personally, I'm disappointed. You know, when you read all these scare tactics that they have there, and when you read the formula, you're expecting to feel something different than just a bunch of caffeine. And this just felt to me, personally, just like a bunch of caffeine with depression 50% of the time as a side effect, but just a bunch of caffeine. And if I want to buy an energy product, a pre-workout that doesn't have exotic stimulants, then I would go with NutraBio Pre or Pre-Caked or all of these guys, and I know what to expect. I expect a complete experience. This wasn't a complete experience. I got an energy kick from a bunch of caffeine, and basically that's it. And that's it. So, to a large extent, and this is my final verdict on the ESP Extreme, the large scoop, I'm disappointed. This is not what I expected. This is definitely not on par with the rest of the top 5 pre-workouts that I would go to as a steam junkie, as someone who's looking for more than just an energy kick. It's not. It's disappointing. So ESP Extreme, I wouldn't buy a tub of this thing. There's way better alternatives. Anyway, if this video was helpful in your pre-workout decision-making process, give it a thumbs up. If you have a different opinion on the ESP Extreme by Metabolic Nutrition, leave it in the comments below and share it with me and the rest of the FDN army. We deserve to know, and we can take it. Even if you disagree, I can take it. And if you want to save money on metabolic nutrition or any other product out there, you go to the place where deals are hunted and prices are compared. And now, let's see who won today's giveaway. Okay guys, you know the drill. We have this software that goes through our subscriber base and randomly chooses a subscriber that left a comment at one of the videos on this channel. So I'm gonna click the button. Santosh, my friend. Glad to see your name come up. Please DM me on Facebook and we will take care of stuff there.